looking back is only delaying you from where you're supposed to be. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So as y'all can see by the title, today's video is about distractions and control. And when I say control, I'm mainly talking about the things that we can control in our lives. Because when we start focusing on things that are outside of our control, those can become distractions to becoming our better selves. And to become our better selves, it requires all of your time, all of your energy, all of your love, all of your dedication, and all of your focus, most importantly. So before we get into that, I want y'all to go ahead and follow me on Instagram right down here, okay? And now we're gonna hop right into it. So I want to start the video off by saying that being controlling is something that a lot of people may struggle with. I'm not a lot of people, so I can't really speak for a lot of people, but I'm gonna speak for myself and in my experience. In my experience, controlling never showed up for me in a manipulative way. Like I'm going out of my way to be controlling, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't wear that, you can't say that, you can't do this, like I'm trying to be a tyrant. Controlling for me showed up in having to make sure that everything always goes my way, having to make sure that I have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C, and if it doesn't go right, I'm literally in shambles. For me, it showed up as people pleasing, trying to control how other people feel about me. It also showed up as in never asking people for help, never allowing other people to be there for me. So depending on who you are and what your life looks like, try to figure out where that controlling space comes from. Some people grow up being taught to be controlling, and when people see these things growing up, it's very hard to stray away from that, being that it's ingrained into our subconscious mind. We can't do anything about that until we do the shadow work and realize, you know what, I am being a little controlling. I am doing a little bit too much. Okay, let me take it back to me. When I was trying to control things outside of my control by trying to people please and do everything for everybody else, making sure that I'm showing up for them so they can feel a certain way about me. And mind you being a people pleaser does not mean that you're actively thinking, oh, let me influence the way that they think about me. But subconsciously, that's exactly what you're doing. You want them to feel a way about you. And when you're too busy pouring into other people instead of focusing on yourself, pouring into yourself, trying to grow yourself and become your better self. I know I said self a lot of times, but it's important that you understand self. You are now becoming distracted. When you start your self-love journey, when you are trying to reach certain points and milestones in life, you have to give your focus to that. 100% of your focus. Your focus cannot be over here and over there. What are some things that are outside of our control? Inflation. We cannot control inflation. The only thing that we can do is to keep moving up in our career ladders, to keep finding ways to make money. And I'm not saying that because I know the job market is hard out here, and I know that everybody's situation is not the same. Everybody does not have access to the same resources as other people, but work with whatever you have and do the best that you can to take care of yourself and to help you during these hard times. Go back to school, change careers. Nobody's saying that you can't do this stuff. And y'all, it is never too late. It is never too late to go back to school. You could be 25, and if you want to go back to school to get your nursing degree, then girl, you do that. Who's to tell you that you couldn't do that? If you want to change job careers, you've been at that place for 5-10 years. Who's to say that you can't go get another job? Yes, it might be a little bit harder, but you know, do what you can. Update your resume. Send it out to different people. Reach out to supervisors and managers of companies. You'll never know until you try. And the worst thing that people can tell you is no. And the worst thing with going to school you can have is debt. If you have bills that you need to pay and you know that you don't have the money to pay, why are you stressing about it? That is a distraction. Yeah, them people might keep calling your phone, but at the end of the day, you can't pay them. So what? What am I gonna do? You gonna keep calling me, sir, ma'am? I'm gonna keep telling you I don't got the money. Well, like, what are they gonna do to you? If you don't have the money, don't even stress about it. The only thing that you can do is try to maybe get a side hustle, get a better job, you go back to school. But sitting around complaining about it and worrying about how the bill is gonna get paid when you have nothing to do about it right now is not gonna help you when you're trying to move forward in life. That is a distraction. This is one that I say all the time. We can't control how other people act. If people want to act immature, that's how they're gonna act. It is nothing that I can do about it. The only thing that I can do is control how I act, control my behavior, control my emotions, and manage my emotions. And I'm not going to elaborate on that because I talk about that all the time. We cannot control how we were raised and the family that we were born into. We unfortunately did not choose them. So We cannot be sitting up here worried about how our family acts or the way that our family believes, because everybody is different. Even if you're raised in the same family unit, everybody is not going to turn out the same. You might be the one that's doing the healing work, trying to break generational curses, but then you got the other one, or the other ones are throwing their life away. They don't take life serious. That have issues. We all have issues, but some people decide to focus more on their issues rather than healing. We can't control how other people in our family turn out. We can't control how our family members think, their limiting beliefs, and what they believe they can and cannot do. We cannot control what they do with their lives, the relationships that they get in. But what we can do is do the shadow work, to do the healing work, to start learning how to reparent ourselves if we never had that parent there for us. And even if we did, there's always things that you can learn to do better. That's really the purpose of life, is to learn, grow, and change. At least in my opinion. We can always change. Just because we were one way doesn't mean that we always have to be that way forever. For me personally, I've had to reparent myself in ways. I've had to reparent myself in learning how to deal with my stress and emotions. I've had to even reparent myself in maybe, how do you fold clothes properly? How do you clean up properly? Like, how do you do it the right way? Because you can clean, but then you can really clean. We can reparent ourselves on how to cook food. We can reparent ourselves on how to eat healthy, how to not have so much of the negative stuff. We can reparent ourselves on our limiting beliefs and what we were grown up to believe, that I could never do that, to I am going to do that one day. And even if you don't see tangible evidence today, you have the confidence in yourself enough to believe that you will be there one day. Worrying about how they did you in the past, dealing with their chaos, their toxicity, their unwillingness to change is a distraction. You also cannot control how people are unwilling to change for the better. If people are unwilling to grow with you, that is not your problem. And sometimes people are growing with you, but sometimes y'all might grow apart. Sometimes y'all are not growing in the same direction, and that's fine. But if you find people that are not willing to grow, you say, hey girl, I see this opportunity right here. I think that both of us will be a good fit for it. Let's hop on that. Oh no, girl, I don't want to do that because, I hear bad things. Or girl, don't nobody want to do that. Okay, fine. But don't be mad and don't be jealous when you see me elevating to the next level and you're still where you were when I was trying to get you to hop on an opportunity. You can't drag people along, because if you're supposed to be focused on yourself, and you're worried about trying to drag everybody else with you, you are distracted. You cannot control them, but the only thing that you can do is focus on yourself and where you're supposed to be going. And if you need help trying to identify what a distraction is, and it's not on this list of things that I gave you, you can know something is a distraction whenever you see that whenever you start to get serious about your life, here comes friends from the past. Here comes ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends. Here comes chaos in your family. That's literally the devil trying to throw you off every single time. And you know how many times that's happened to me? Every single time I've gotten serious about my life, here comes something else. But the thing is, we have to learn how to stay focused even amongst the chaos. We have to focus even when things are crashing and burning around us. Do y'all know that one Bible story? I think it's Sodom and Gomorrah, when God told them to leave that city and to not look back, but Lot's wife looked back and she was turned into a pillar of salt. That's literally what that is. If God is telling you to move on, to let go of certain places, people, and things, you need to do that, because you looking back is only causing you more pain. You looking back is only delaying you from where you're supposed to be. And I'm sure your better self doesn't want to be delayed any longer. I remember around December last year when I first decided, you know what, I think I'm gonna get a little bit more serious about my YouTube channel. That's when I was posting really consistently. Here comes dudes trying to talk to me, and it didn't take me no time to identify that they were a distraction, because like I said in my last video, I was able to tell that these people were not gonna be for me anyways. Able to tell that off first interactions. It don't take that long. When I first started my YouTube channel, I had friends, fake friends, distracted me from doing what it is that I want to do. Instead of editing for 5 hours, I would be on the phone for 5 hours in a one-sided friendship. Recently, I was just starting to get back into my groove of doing YouTube. Like 2 weeks ago, two old friends reached out to me. And for what? It's clear that you did not value me when I was there. So why are you trying to value me now? Why are you trying to get back good with me now? Still got love for you though, but I can't do that. I'm too focused right now. And it gets to a point, y'all, where you start to get tired of your own stuff. You get tired of your own procrastination. You delaying your own blessings. Tired of being left behind and feeling like you behind the 8 ball. And that's what it took for me. Because also, when you are too focused on these distractions, when you're at rock bottom, those distractions ain't gonna be there for you. And you are so very blessed if you find that you have a community of people that are there for you in your hardest and your lowest times. Because most people don't have that. Because where you're going requires separation. Your elevation requires separation. And it's also going to cost the old you. So the old people pleaser you, the old, oh, I'm worried about how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do that you, is not going to get you where you're trying to go. Because the old you was aligned with those things and with those peoples and those worries. But the new you don't have time to worry about none of that. You trying to focus on getting to your goal and reach your dreams. At least that's what I'm trying to do. I don't have time for no distraction. Not no man, not no friend, not no family member, or any other negative influence that thinks that they're trying to distract me from what I'm supposed to be doing. And like I said in my last video, even if I or you have to hurt throughout the process of doing what it is what we have to do not let it stop you from doing what you need to do. You can move on and grieve and hurt while still making moves. And don't get me wrong, slow progress is better than no progress. You don't have to get stuff overnight. You don't have to get it tomorrow. You're not going to be the best version of yourself tomorrow. But as long as you're making a little process every single day, the best that you can to the best of your ability, you will eventually get there. As long as you don't let other people distract you. And I'm not yelling at y'all. I just get real passionate because I've been through this so many times. It's something I'm currently going through. So I might as well just try to encourage you. Those distractions ain't going to get up and motivate you. Them bills are not going to send you a refund check so you can have money. Those family members ain't gonna check on you. They ain't gonna give you things that you've been giving them. Support, love, money, time, whatever you've been giving out to anything. You're not gonna get that at your bottom. Do not make life let you feel like you are out of control. You literally have free will. And I know somebody in my life, y'all, they get mad every time that I say I literally have free will and I can literally do whatever it is that I want to do with myself. For a small example, I really like cupcakes and I like cake. I have a big sweet tooth, okay? When we were growing up, we were told, oh no, you can only have one popsicle today. You can only have one cupcake today. And you can't have one tomorrow because you had one yesterday. Then I realized, I can go get cupcakes. I can go get a 12-pack of cupcakes if I want to. I can get a whole birthday cake if I want to. And I can enjoy that because who's gonna whoop me? Who's gonna stop me from doing that? I can go get a toy just because I want a toy. I can go get a coloring book just because I want a coloring book. Who's gonna whoop me? Who's gonna tell me that I can't do that? You can go to school right now. You can go to Miami right now if that's what you want to do. You are grown. Because sometimes when we grow up in these toxic households, they make you believe like you got to do what I say. And anything you want to do, you have to run it by me first. And that leads to a lack of self-trust. I don't have to run anything by anybody. You are not me and I'm not you. You have free will. You can do whatever you want to do with your time, with your life. It's your life. You could be sitting up here watching this video right now, but you could also decide that you're not going to take this advice. She don't know what she's talking about, and that's fine. You're not hurting me, you're hurting you. So it's ultimately up to you to decide what it is that you want to do with your life. But don't let other people and life make you feel like that you don't have control of that. And if you don't feel like you have control, just know that you could take control at any time. Focus on what actually matters. It'll make you feel so much more accomplished and so much more better about yourself. Your self-esteem will start to go up. Your self-worth, your confidence. Self-worth is the act of knowing that you deserve. Confidence is the act of knowing that you can do it. Self-esteem is knowing who you are, thinking highly of yourself. And I know that I feel so much better about myself every time that I put my mind to something. It might take myself dragging myself out the bed to do what it is that I need to do, but I always feel so much better afterwards doing it anyway, instead of procrastinating. And this is coming from a big time procrastinator. I know I can procrastinate, but it's something that I'm actively working on. Because I know that if I'm not focused and I'm actually not doing anything, I'm not going to get anywhere. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You got to get tired of your own self. That's in your control. Just like what's outside of your control is not inside of your control, it's the same vice versa for other people. What's in your control is not in somebody else's control. So just think about that. Do the best that you can every single day and keep showing up for yourself. Keep working to being that better person. Keep showing up for that inner child in you that needs you. And pretty much that's all that I have to say. If y'all have any questions, just let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, leave a comment or leave a like down below as well. And y'all go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I want y'all to start following me on Instagram because I want to start growing that page too, because I want to maybe get more interactive late 2024, early 2025. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it's something that I want to do. I love each and every one of y'all so much. Thank y'all for 1,500 subscribers. I love each and every one of y'all so much, okay? And I'm glad that y'all are here. I'm glad that y'all have been supporting me this long, and I'll never take y'all for granted again. I appreciate y'all so much, and I will see y'all in my next video.